The purpose of this video is to take a look at why the Siege of Orleans happened in 1429. Based on this map, I see that the title tells me we are in France in the year 1429. According to the map key, I can see that orange is land controlled by the King of France, so everything that is orange is controlled by France, and green is lands controlled by the King of England. So I see that much of northern France was actually controlled by the King of England by 1429, as well as this area down here, Gascony. What this tells me when I'm analyzing this map, I'm assuming that England has slowly been making its way south, trying to take over as much of France as possible. By 1429, England controlled the northern part of France, including Paris. So Paris had been taken under control of England by 1429. England laid siege to Orleans, which was the northernmost city still controlled by France in 1429. So as England is making its way south, trying to take over France, they reach Orleans in 1429 and lay siege to it in an attempt to take it over and continue taking over France. England's goal is for this entire area to be green by the end of the war. France's goal is to keep it orange, keep it in their control, and start chipping it away at what England has taken over. This image is a primary source. I'm going to go through how I would analyze it out loud, and then you'll practice with this later. So if I'm going to meet the source, the first thing I want to find is the title, Siege of Orleans, 1429. Two observations are that it looks like there are two armies that are facing each other, and I see that on the left side of the image, there's a castle. If I was going to describe it to someone who can't see it, I would say that this is a painting or a drawing of a battle with two opposing sides facing each other. It's very colorful, and I see that many of them have weapons. The next step is to observe its parts. So, who made it? I'm not entirely sure who made it. There's no details about that. I'm going to assume that the person who made this was at the battle, and so they saw what was happening at the Siege of Orleans. When was it made? It doesn't say a date. I'm assuming it was made after the battle, so it was made after the 1429 battle, but not too far after, because it looks like he has a pretty clear memory of what was happening. 4 details. Detail number 1 is that I see that this side is using longbows and this side has crossbows. Detail number 2, I see that this side is using cannons and they're shooting the cannons at the castle. Detail number 3, I see that this side has way more soldiers that are surrounding this castle. You can see that their armor and their weapons surround the castle all the way to over here. And my 4th detail is going to be, let me think. I'm going to see that this side is shooting, but they are shooting much less than this side. This side has at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things shooting into the side that's in the castle, and this side is only really shooting 1 weapon back out. Looks like they're facing away, trying to defend themselves. The next step is to make sense of it. What do I know about when it was made? Well, I know that it was around the time of the 100 Years' War. The intended audience, I'm assuming, is going to be people that were living at the time that weren't at the battle, that maybe needed to know what the battle looked like or felt like or what happened there. An historical perspective. I'm going to say that the person who created this, their perspective of the war is that this side outside of the castle is much more powerful than the side inside the castle. Remember, Orleans was controlled by France at this time. So these people are French and these people are English. Another clue that I have for that is that they have longbows and they are still using crossbows. So I think that his perspective is that England was much more powerful and much more likely to win than France inside the castle under siege.